So, Wavelength. Hello and welcome to the stream. It's just started. It hasn't quite started yet. It's just started. Thank you so much, everyone who's tuned in. I hope you're all having a good day, and I've got some exciting news for you. This is a box called Wavelength, and in this box lives a game called Wavelength. Now, I'm going to go through how the game is played. It's very simple, but we're going to be kind of slightly modifying the way that the game is played to play it with you guys. This is Wavelength. Comes in a box. Comes in a box. Comes in a box. Is that the way it goes? Goes this way. Goes this way. In a box. Alright. Now the way we're going to play this, we're going to have two different criteria for something. So we're going to have untalented to talented. Is we're going to take it in turns. We'll spin this wheel to set it up with a specific point on this little wheel. But only one of us, out of the three of us, me, Pip, can I point the right way? Yes, Tom, is going to see this. So it's going to involve the other two of us physically closing our eyes so we don't know what it is. Now, you guys at home, I would recommend as well that you close your eyes. You don't have to. You can just watch, but it kind of sucks and then you can't play. Because what we're going to do is we're going to reveal it to one person, one of us three, and then let's just say we go from untalented to talented. So here I'd have to come up with a clue which was representative of something being like just not untalented, but not really that talented, just a bit talented. And then I'd have to come up with a clue for that. I'm trying to think of something off the top of my head, like something that's like a touch, just a touch talented. I'd probably be like most YouTubers. There we are. Like,
ooh.
Right, and this is the problem, is you can't say anything about this without being a sassy. This is a particularly sassy topic, all right? That's just an example, all right? And then what will happen is the rest of us, so let's just say I'd done that and I've had a look. You two, Tom and Pip, would have to then try and have a little discussion amongst yourselves to decide whereabouts roughly on the dial you think my clue should lead you to, right? And then I'll move this around at your bequest and to give a vague idea of where you think it should be. But then before that, what we're going to do is we're actually going to get the audience at home to vote where they think it should go, because they can listen to your discussion and they can decide whether they are swayed by your compelling arguments or not swayed, like a tree that it was not interested in the wind whatsoever. So
an indoor tree.
An indoor tree. They're as unswayed as an indoor tree, made of bricks.
So just bricks then.
So unswayed as a pile of bricks.
Somebody's asking, put something in front of the camera, Matt. What are you talking about? Is this? Oh, put something in front of the camera so people can't see. No, because then they can't see. I can see, but they can't see. Look, like I'm just gonna trust you, right? You don't have to do it. You can play. You can watch by just watching. But if you want to play, then you'll close your eyes. It's in the same way that if I invited someone to play a game with me at a convention or in my house, yes, you can cheat, but that's lame. That's the end of that sentence. Also, I've got to point out, somebody called Tip Warbler has pointed out that Pip and Tom are wearing shirts that match the colour scheme and design of Wavelength. Is that intentional or just brilliant?
I just ran out of clean laundry.
This was slightly warmer than the check shirt I was wearing.
Well, it does the job. To be honest, I've been wearing this jumper in every stream since we started doing it because, I mean, like, why not? What's the point in having clothes? It doesn't matter anymore. Apparently, this
You're not very recognisable without it, to be fair.
No, just blend in. I did almost put on an orange shirt, but I would literally just blend into the table. Now, there's a final rule or two we've got to work about here. So first of all, one of the rules is, if when I open this little shield, the result is like this, basically, if it's right on one of the edges, then that is something where you do a do-over, because it's too easy to have something that's just like all the way. So it should never be all the way one or the other. So if after it's revealed, the way it works is if you can see the colours on both sides, then you need a respin. So I'm not going to be looking at it on it's not my turn, obviously. So if you need a respin, then just say, respin, or spin it again, Lees, or spins. What are they for? No, absolutely nothing. So that's just, you can honestly, you can say whatever you like, but that's just another rule for you. And that is Wavelength. So I think I think that's good. I think that's all we need to do. So I'm just going to make you a tiny bit smaller so we can spin the wheel, so everyone at home can... Actually, no, because you're supposed to be closing your eyes, aren't you? But, I mean, we'll do it anyway, in case people want to see it. because you can. People will cheat, won't they? So I'm going to make you slightly smaller, just for a second. Don't panic. I'll make you bigger in a minute.
Ooh, you really got shrunk.
You did, honey. I shrunk the Brewster. All right, who's going to go first? Who's going to go first?
I will do closing eyes. So.
Okay, we've got a closer.
You can go first, Matt.
All right.
Don't worry, you get the honour.
So I'm going to spin it.
Hold on.
That's not how it works. I'm going to spin it. You can tell I'm a man approaching his 40s. Okay, so I'm now. I'm going to keep my eyes open. Everyone at home, close your eyes. Okay, I'm going to give you a couple of seconds just in case you've got like no neuron ability. Everyone, close your eyes. Cool. And now I'm going to look. Need a quick respin. Okay. You can open your eyes. And I'm going to take one of these, which is dystopian to utopian. Utopian. So I'm just going to bring this up so people can see. Dystopia to utopia is the category we are looking at, and I've got to come up with the clue that's going to get the right place. Oh gosh, I've completely put it out of focus there. Sorry, the autofocus button is a little bit of work in progress. And apparently people said they could read it on the bottom anyway there. Whatever. I don't believe in you, your great eyes.
Matt, are you having a breakdown?
Yeah, of course I am. It's a Twitch stream for Shop Sit Down. Of course I'm having a breakdown. Like, what do you think we're here? Right. So I'm gonna say for mine, Stoke-on-Trent.
Okay. I know Matt said it couldn't be all the way one way.
So Utopia.
Yeah, so Utopia.
So the clue is Stoke-on-Trent. Stoke-on-Trent is a city, town. I don't know if it's a city or town. I should presume it's a city in the United Kingdom.
Chat's going insane, being like, "What is this British nonsense?"
Look, you're going to have to. I can't explain it because that will give away too much. But you guys can explain a bit about Stoke-on-Trent.
So from the British children's TV program Dick and Dom in Da Bungalow, I know that Stoke-on-Trent...
Another cultural reference everyone in America is going to get.
Historic town on the River Trent. Something about Josiah... There was a song.
So obviously, let's begin with Dick and Dom in the Bungalow.
Hold on, let me remember
but first we must go back to Saturday morning's SMTV Live with Cat Deely and Anton Deck.
My gosh.
It was I'm trying to remember the words to this song, but the cat sang it, and it was like, Stoke-on-Trent, Stoke-on-Trent, historic town on the River Trent. And I don't remember the rest of it.
So somebody in the comments has said, my friend got headbutted after a movie finished for no reason. I'm assuming that's the story.
Utopia. It's Utopia.
Hang on. Did the movie finish for no reason? Or like, what? I'm so confused already. So, so Stoke-on-Trent is a town in the Midlands.
Mm-hmm.
And I have not been there. I have been past it. So I don't know. Did Dick and Dom have any advice on how dystopian or utopian it was?
I mean, the cats in this song, in Dick and Dom and the Bungalow, seem pretty positive on Stoke-on-Trent. So I'm going to say a little bit. I think Well,
I'm going to switch on the click on the screen stuff soon because I haven't put it on completely, just so people know, because people are saying they're clicking, it's not working. I'll let you know when I'm going to switch it on and when I'm going to switch it off. I don't want to put it on too early because I don't want to give these fine folks clues, but at the same time, it'd be fun to let them have a little think about it first and then sort of like ask the audience in popular TV show.
So shall we say where we're leaning?
Yeah.
I think thinking about Matt, I think I'd lean it a little bit towards dystopia.
Yeah.
In the sense that it's kind of how I imagine it is a
Thinking
sort of
about Matt,
picturesque.
because I'm a snob.
Yes.
I mean, yes,
I
completely
think
fair.
I think that you would name an obscure and kind of funny British town for like anything that's slightly like not naff exactly, but more on that like less than 50% end of the spectrum.
Okay,
and
so-
like I don't think you're specifically burning Stoke-on-Trent, but I think that you love like, you know, a button on the water or like a you know.
There was some real insight in chat from Pretzel who says it's better than Slough but worse than York. So there's a sort of some kind of that's giving you a little. If you work out where those two towns are,
Well,
then you
that's
can kind of.
geographically like midway, really, isn't it? Just sort of slightly
All right.
off. To the...
All right. Yeah. Sorry. Glad you're saying my feeling. All right. I'm currently looking out the window to window of Stoke-on-Trent. I'm sorry about that. I don't mean this to be. Well, you'll have to see. I don't mean this to be that bad. Anyway, I'm gonna switch on the clicking. All right. I'm gonna switch on the clicking, and then restart it, and it's go now. Clicking is go. Remember, the phone lines will only be open for 1 hour. Do ask whoever pays the bills before making a call. If you want Lithuania to win, press 9.
Oh, wow.
We now get a sort of. It's an hour-long debating period to work out exactly where it needs to go. And then we come back and the algorithm will have decided.
Oh, look, there's one person who's really pro Stoke-on-Trent. I love that.
Yep. So
This is where Matt
right.
turns around and says that Stoke-on-Trent is where he was born and raised, and is a beautiful country town, and is a, highlight of his life.
Stoke-on-Trent killed my father.
So, okay, right. Listen, the majority of people are saying that it's roughly here. So what I'm going to do now, okay, no, it's shifting over a little bit, actually. Okay, so everyone, what I'm going to do now, this is where it gets a little bit experimental. You have to just bear with me. Is I'm going to stop this. Stop this. Stop this thing. And then, excitedly, this one gets a bit manic. I don't really know what I'm doing at this point. We're going to go computer. Enhance. Enhance the clues. Computer. Enhance. Thank you. And then I'm going to start it again. All right? Enhance. Okay. Now the clicking is going. You have got more time than that. I just wanted to sing that song.
No one who didn't get Dick and Dom in the bungalow.
Yeah, I know. Like, I know. But to be honest, like, I've been part of Shut Up and Sit Down now for like maybe 7 or 8 years, and I've been consistently making the most British references imaginable without any kind of without any kind of thing. So people are pointing out that people are clicking on my face because my face is at the peak of the other thing, so I have to move away. So people are just like, stop giving dodgy answers.
I think chat generally thinks that you should move it slightly more towards the middle, though.
Yeah,
that seems to be the consensus.
All right. But what do you guys think? This is the point now where, like, what do you guys think?
Well, should we start by trusting chat a little bit?
Yeah, like I feel like we could collaborate. Like we gave them the benefit of our knowledge of you, and then like we can. The rest of it's more of a negotiation.
Because the thing is, it's tricky this because we can see the main majority is here, but we've got all these pockets down here. Now these pockets are actually quite substantial number-wise. These are substantial number pockets, and I think we've got to keep an eye on that.
Yeah.
Because look at that, see
control of that segment. Yeah,
so it's looking like it's. Oh, you see, it's like the bubbles. We can't control the bubbles any more than this, I'm afraid. There is the technology. We do not have the technology to control the bubbles. Although I would say, stop wasting your votes on my face. All right.
I will say consensus. Like I'm more inclined to go with that. So I think if we move it slightly more towards the 50%, what do you reckon, Tom?
Well, it looks like now because we got there's 15, 14, 29, 33%. You know what? No, let's go with our gut and with consensus.
Yeah,
and
I
swing
think-
it a little bit more towards the center.
I think you have to, because everyone knows where they're going to go for it. I think you have to choose what feels right for you guys. You two are the team. You can look at this, and everyone else can know where they clicked and what they thought. But I think you got to make the choice, right?
So I think where there's that rogue 4% above the 30 whatever percent, I feel like that's where I want to aim at. Like, that's my target.
Let's do that.
All right.
That's looking good.
All right, we ready? We ready?
So
I'm ready.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to reveal it.
I'm so excited. We get a delayed
Come
reaction as well,
on.
because it's going to be a little few seconds until.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. So, like, this bubble here, this bubble, you guys had it absolutely bang on. I'm afraid. And I'll show you. This is it's going to be like. Let's look at this.
We don't even get a single point. We goofed it. We thoroughly goofed it.
I'm sorry. You got no points.
But we
Dang.
goofed it together.
You did.
Yes.
You failed together. You know we can fail together. Again, home and away. Arguably Australian show, but very popular in England. Anyway, let's try and play again without me singing British theme tunes. All right, that went.
Whose turn?
I apologise to anyone who lives in Stoke. Because I don't think that's that bad. You've got to bear in mind this is utopia, and this is like dystopia, and I feel like it's not the people of Stoke's fault, but I feel like Stoke has become a bit of a grim place because of austerity. Let's be real. So, yeah. Anyway,
Good note.
on board
to
games
move
fun,
on.
right? So, who is next? So that's it. Just a couple of things I want to let people know. 24% of people got it right, which is pretty good. Some people saying this is rad, and someone saying yes, this is radial, which is
That's good.
it's a circle
Very
joke. Lots of people enjoying that, which is great. And oh yeah, do you click once or keep clicking as many times as you want? You can click as many times as you want. It's not a proper legal voting system. You can just keep clicking, which I think is. I guess it kind of balances out because it means if you're really sure it's somewhere, then your persistence will be aided. If you're just like, then it won't be counted as much. Anyway. Okay. Right, so we've got an option now. We can have a slightly spicy one or an unspicy one. For Tom.
I don't mind. For me,
Yeah.
can we go unspicy so I get the feeling of maybe managing something once in my life
No.
before failing?
We're going to go for the
Okay,
slightly
let's go
spicy one.
spicy.
So
Let's go spicy.
Your clue is going to be somewhere between here. So we have between sexy emoji and unsexy emoji.
Great, thanks, Matt. Thanks
It's
for
fine.
putting this on me.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. It's fine. And I'm just gonna in a second. I'm gonna spin this around and then we're gonna close our eyes. So
And I can look.
Pip's
can't I?
already.
I
You can look.
here.
No one else in the whole world is sanctioned to look right now. And I'm sure that some will, but I just want them to know they're breaking the law. Not the real law, the Lee's law. But you break the
board
Lee's
game
law
police
and you're going straight
will
to Lee's
come to your
jail.
house.
I'm in the pocket of the board game police. All right, now I'm going to close my eyes now, and Tom, you need to let me know if I need to spin it again.
Will do. Okay, I'm ready.
You got a good look?
You do not need to spin it again.
And
You're
am
all
I okay
good.
to close it?
You are okay to close it.
All right, I've closed it.
Okay.
Pip, you
Great.
can open your eyes again.
I'm just being careful because I know that Twitch has started lagging for me.
Oh,
so
you're
I didn't
watching the
wanna...
Twitch stream,
yes,
of course.
there
Yeah,
we
no,
go.
you should definitely be careful watching the Twitch stream because that's.
I am. I've seen nothing, so that's good.
So, okay, let me just have a quick. I'm just going through my phone, looking at all the emojis because I feel like I need the true breadth of emojis right now at my disposal.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you can show us which one. You can
Yeah, I think that's my plan. And I think.
I think I can even probably get it up on the screen on here if you want.
Pardon?
I beg your pardon. Sorry.
I think that would get the stream taken down.
You're not wrong. So, Yeah, let's not do that.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm just gonna send a message. I'm gonna send this as a message to my group chat of my friends, so I can get the emoji at a reasonable size. But this one, this looking like dorky dude. Can you see that?
Yeah. What's the name of that? What's the name of that emoji?
I think it's called this little dorky dude.
Okay, I'm just gonna have a. Yeah, it looks like a minion. Chat's right on
Yeah,
that one.
Looks like a minion.
Emoji dork.
Just having a look on my phone as well. Emoji dork. That's. I'm on airplane mode because I'm a very responsible person on stream.
That's very responsible. Very responsible.
If someone could paste it in chat, that would be good.
All right,
I
I'm
think
gonna
so.
put it on the stream.
Excellent.
I'm gonna put it on the stream. But I just have to check that everything's okay. Yeah. It's not about incriminating stuff on my desktop. I just don't like when we've been playing Tabletop Simulator. I keep putting up like the password for the room and stuff, which is not very wise. So it's more just being like, am I going to do anything that's going to make a headache now? But it's fine. So I think there we are. So here we have now. Is this the emoji you saw, son?
Unfortunately, it's not, but it's close enough.
Does it alter your feelings?
You know, it kind of it does a little bit.
Okay.
That's definitely not it. It's a Facebook emoji, so I don't know if that changes anything.
I see.
It's that emoji, but it might be different on different phones, on different.
All right.
Like,
well, can we have another look
apps
at
and
the original emoji just for our records?
Yeah, let me just
On your little
grab
screen.
them.
I'm going to just make you a little bit
Yeah.
bigger.
Yeah, it's like how emoji and Slack are hell. Like they're these.
Yeah, no, that
awful,
is different.
awful
He's
faces.
kind of like a minion-looking guy,
Like a minion-looking dude.
a filet
Yeah.
mignon.
Have you got like a minions pack installed?
I would absolutely.
Tom Brewster
I really resent this,
outed
this accusation.
outed as world's premier Minions fan.
But guys, what can I say?
You're the only person spending money on the
Yes.
Minions mobile phone games, just buying thousands of Minion gems every week.
if the camera pans around on Tom's room, like it suddenly transitions to yellow.
So, what do we think about this? We've got somebody saying already that the smirk makes him look more sexy, which I think is a dangerous path to go down. But I think they're not wholly wrong.
I think there's a sort of like guileless innocence to the one that Tom showed, so I feel like it's more like neutral to unsexy for me. And the fact that the buck-toothed version, like, which seems more kind of like rooted in terrible stereotypes.
Yeah, we kind of got a bit of a tease there when we showed him the wrong one, and he's like, no, okay.
Yeah.
So
I think sexier than that.
yeah, got Atomic Rin saying, knowing Tom, this is peak sexy performance. You might not like it, but this is what ultimate sexy looks like. Confidence is sexy.
I'm really enjoying
Okay.
watching the Twitch mods just add sexy as a permitted term over and over again.
Yeah, sorry about that. Apologies to Twitch mods currently there. Morrigan is ever doing great work. I think Pip. I think that
Yeah.
it's like here, like a little bit. But
Interesting.
should we switch on the clicks and let people? What
Yeah.
do you think first before we switch on the clicks?
I think I was very much in a similar mindset, probably like 50% or slightly
Oh,
less.
okay. So you
but
were thinking
yeah,
like a bit
so-
further over that way. Okay. Well, I'm going to reset it for
yeah.
now, and then let's see what the clicky does, which is a sentence I don't think is real. Right, the clicky has begun. Let's see what the clicky does.
Oh, I'm excited for the clicky. 100% of people have clicked on the wavelength board. Oh, this is tricky to know because they're all so close together.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Okay, so there seems to be an emerging
All right, there's a pattern emerging
swing
now. Yeah.
towards the left.
Hopefully not the first one we see this year. Right. Okay. Let's have a look.
8% of people think it's full sexy. Yeah.
Hey, good for you. Good for you.
Yeah, I'm thinking move it very slightly left. Like that's where I was thinking.
Okay.
Like not loads, but I don't know what. Like maybe even less than that, but other people don't seem to think so.
Well, people think it's like it's pretty middle, right? So I think
Okay.
again, it's like it's not middle of this.
Yeah. Okay.
So I think we're gonna have to say goodbye to the 22% who will sadly be left in this realm, and we're gonna go into the bonus round. This is the point
But
where
like,
I really
hey,
wish
whatever does it for you is fine. You know, if that's your emoji, then Godspeed.
exactly. It doesn't like it's all about this game is all about conversations. It's not about wrong and right. So now we're bumping this up into this new zone. I'm gonna reset the clicky because I think otherwise it's gonna be wrong.
Reset the clicky.
Reset the clicky. I think you can tell when you can click on it because the edge of the screen glows. That seems to be what I've noticed.
Oh,
If you see the edge of
yeah.
the screen glowing gently, then it means
It's like we're in a magic fridge.
it's clicky time. We are in a magic fridge. And it's lovely to be in a magic fridge with you two and everyone on the internet. I'm having a lot of fun. I was worried I was going to be stressed after I had all of the tech problems before, but this is just as delightful as I thought it would be. So thank you very much for taking the time, Pip. Really appreciate it.
That's all right. Interrupting my busy Animal Crossing schedule.
I know you got cool stuff going on. You got a whole bunch of cool stuff going on. All right.
Oh wow. Okay.
So I feel like we're starting to shift back. These bubbles are not super indicative, you know, but I feel like we're going to shift back. So I think it's time now. I'm ready to kind of make a decision. How about you?
Yeah. Same. Are we making the same decision?
Well, that's a good question. So I think what we're going to do here is I'd say I don't think very far off. I think it's a little bit unsexy, but not super unsexy. But I don't know how charitable. The one thing I would say about this, and I don't mean this as a slight to Tom, he's a very young man. On the one hand, he's a very young man, and maybe he hasn't developed the point where he thinks, okay, you know, like someone who looks like a mega nerd can't be sexy. He may not have got to that point yet, but at the same time, he's also one of the most sensitive souls I've ever met. So maybe he is already there, and he's just uncharacteristically grown up for his age. So I don't know. I kind of feel like in my mind it could be anywhere from like here to like here, depending on how I don't know. Depending on how judgmental. This is like layers within layers, reverse judgmentalism.
I
What do
feel
you-
like
what do
we'll
you
all
think?
leave this learning something.
What do you think, Pip?
I think I would go maybe slightly more towards the middle, but not much more.
No, I think so. I think about there.
Yeah, that looks good to me.
All right, cool. I forgot to close the original thing, so people can see now. You can imagine where you got, and we're gonna find out. Does Team Matt and Pip get
I'm
anything? 4 points! Hey!
Yay.
I'm glad we didn't misjudge Tom. That was correct.
Thank you. It was the I think that there was a focus on the nerdy geeky aspect of it, but I think he just had a sort of plaintive innocence.
Yeah, no,
Like
you're
a sort
right.
of just a smiley niceness.
It's
I
just
think
a nice
that's
way.
that's definitely what the Facebook version of it does. It's that like what I was saying, like the guileless kind of
Yeah,
innocence. It's
yeah.
like, yeah.
So I'm gonna get a pencil, and I'm gonna write down the scores. Like I'm somebody's dad in a caravan for a weekend.
Oh, so we
Let me
each
write
getting
down the
individual
scores.
points.
Yeah, I figure we'll do it like I figure we'll do it like what's it called? Like the other game about being a psychic.
Mysterious?
No, the one that Tom's played recently.
Medium?
Medium. Yeah, where it's like you score as pairs. So there's a total of different teams. So
Okay.
Matt and Pip have 4 points.
I'm going to throw the next one and give you a terrible clue, just so I
Ooh,
can
that's
get sweet
cheating.
points. Yeah.
That's cheating. You're a bad man. And actually, I've got my little to-do list here. I'm using that, and you'll be pleased to know that I actually have done my only thing on my tick list. This is a family show. Is my to-do list is wax drawers, and I did wax the drawers, so I'll tick that. That was my Sunday afternoon to do.
That is a family show.
Please remember to wax your drawers. This is a family show. All right. Also, thank you to Mike Mountain, who's just gifted 5 subs to the community, which is really kind. They've gifted a total of 25. How have you got so many submarines in the first place? I have no idea. You must be a great underwater person. Let's play again. Let's do it. Right, so this time, Pip is going to be the only person in the world who doesn't have her eyes closed.
Wow, the pressure.
All right. Okay, this is an interesting one.
My blindfold is on.
Is that a sleeping mask?
Maybe.
I
I'm
like
surprised
it.
it doesn't have minions on it.
Deep burns. I like it. I like it. Oh, that's gonna hurt. All right. So, your clue today. I'm just gonna budge this back a bit so we can see it again. Is
Okay.
disgusting cereal to delicious cereal.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
So
Okay.
this is a tricky one because it's subjective and that's not good. So, just gonna. I think it must be. Yeah, you do this. All right. So I'm gonna spin it around a few times. Let's close our eyes just yet. But then in a second, Tom is going to put on his mask of sleepening. And I am going to put on my closed eyes emoji, and then we're gonna play. All right. So I'm gonna close my eyes now and lift it up, and then Pip, if it needs spinning again, just let me know. So 3,
Okay.
2, 1. Everyone, close your eyes. Is it open?
It needs. Can I get a rewind?
You get a rewind,
please,
certainly.
Matthew.
Is that any better?
Let me wait for the stream to catch up.
Oh yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, that. Oh, sorry. That probably gave it away, didn't it?
I'll spin it again. It's fine. I realised I should actually have a webcam set up just so you guys can actually see stuff live-ish.
Sorry.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. We're not in a hurry. Have I closed the door? I'm
I
completely.
meant for the swear.
Oh, okay. Well, don't worry about it. It's a family show. Nobody heard it.
A respin, please.
Another respin.
Yes.
Okay. Re-spin. Is that okay?
Yes, that is okay.
Okay. And then you've seen it. I can close it.
Yes.
All right. Oh gosh.
Okay.
Have I closed it?
No.
Okay.
Hang on.
It's-
You may have in the meantime, but yes. I
I've
believe
closed it now.
you
All right,
have.
everyone can open their eyes.
Yes.
Everyone can open their eyes. That was quite tricky.
Okay.
I think the problem is because the door kind of auto opens itself, which means if you lose control of the door while shutting it, then it's probably going to just slide back open again.
I am going to just quickly go to a supermarket website to refresh my memory of various cereals.
No, take your time with it. Like it's actually really hard coming up with clues for Wavelength. They do need a couple of minutes usually.
Yeah. Okay. What have we got? Oh, interesting. Ooh.
Interessant.
I'm just like, oh, that sounds interesting. Maybe I'll add that to my...
Yeah, you're just gonna go down a hole of good cereals now. Ooh, I'm gonna buy some of that.
Oh, yeah, nice. So I am going to go with crunchy nut.
Crunchy nut.
That's crunchy nut. I will put a link to Crunchy Nut in chat in case people not from the UK, you may need to unmoderate that, by the way, because apparently
People say
Sainsbury's-
that sounds so British.
Thank you, Morgan.
Okay,
Yes.
here is my first. This is a problem that I'm gonna put out there that might influence my takes for this. I think all cereal is kind of disgusting.
Wow. Okay.
Like,
Interesting.
I don't think I enjoy any cereal really.
This is when Tom gets cancelled.
I mean, out of all the things to get cancelled for, having bad cereal takes feels like a good one.
Yeah, it's pretty great. You're in a pretty good spot with that. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I feel like, have you had it as an evening meal? Because that feels like an area you may want to explore.
You think evening cereal is that like the optimum way to consume cereal?
Yes,
evening meal?
especially if it is really the bad kind for children. Like if it's
The
got
bad kind.
marshmallows,
The bad-
if it's
The
got
18 plus cereal. The top shelf for cereal.
Bad cereal
Like-
for grown-ups at night.
yeah, frosty wheats. We're talking Choco Wheatos.
We're talking Choco-Weetos, you know what I'm
On
saying?
On
We're
that
talking
topic,
Fruit Loops. Like
Crunchy
oh, yeah.
Nut feels like it's part of that category because I think Crunchy Nut, out of all the cereals that I've sampled and not enjoyed that much, Crunchy Nut is all right. So I think it's a bit delicious.
That's a pretty lukewarm take there, sir.
I don't know. I feel like from what Pip's just said, which I don't know whether Pip's allowed to talk in the rules of the game.
I mean, not
But-
really. Not really.
Nah, well, breaking the law, breaking the law. But you just said that, that the best ones are like Fruit Loops and stuff like that. So that feels like their best must mean sugar, right? And Fruit Loops will be all the way on the other end. Crunchy Nut must be somewhere in between, I think.
I think you may have fundamentally misunderstood what Fruit Loops are.
Okay.
Do you think that fruit is anything to do with Fruit Loops?
All right, I'm
They're
gonna.
exactly. They're the sugariest, right?
Those
They're
are-
just
Oh,
sugar.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah.
I see.
For Americans,
This
this is
I thought
Crunchy
you
Nut.
thought- I thought you thought they were a health food.
Crunchy Nut.
delicious Fruit Loops.
Crunchy Nut is it has a health star rating of 2 stars. It's, I didn't know it was a thing. This must be an American version. Maybe this is an American thing as well. I don't know. Anyway, like this is Crunchy Nut cornflakes. Now I'm just gonna throw this out there. I think Crunchy Nut cornflakes are some of the most delicious cereals invented in the
They've
history
got all
of
those
cereals.
adverts where the people are like eating them guiltily.
Yeah,
They're like,
the whole advertising
Oops.
campaign is the idea that you just can't stop eating it and it's addictive, and you lose your job and your house and your mortgage because of
because
Crunchy
of
Nut.
Crunchy Nuts.
And it's accurate. It's
It's relatable.
it's
you know?
super relatable. It's basically crack. I used to
They would
eat it.
have been in
a lot.
the Stoke-on-Trent area of the dystopia to utopia thing.
It's now I'm just gonna say, right, I think that it is one of the most delicious cereals available. Like, Tom, have you ever had Crunchy Nut cornflakes?
I have, but like I've said, I just find cereal like combining a solid crunch thing with a wet thing just seems like an absolute disaster waiting to
Have
happen.
you ever tried? We can get into a proper long conversation about this after the
Yeah.
stream is done.
We better.
During your performance review.
Yeah, obviously, yeah. I'm bringing it forward to 6 o'clock. Have you ever tried having just like really small bowls of cereal and then just like a little bit of milk and then eating that so it never gets soggy? Because that's
Maybe
my
my-
game
Maybe my
changer.
ratios are like way off. I'm
Because
just,
if you make a big bowl of it, it's just going to be soggy. But I think Crunchy Nut soggy is quite nice as well. So
How do you feel about croutons in soup?
I don't like soup
it's true. He doesn't.
really.
He's got there's a lot of red flags with Tom.
A lot of red flags.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. Soup freaks me out. Freaks me. You know what?
I mean, actually, yeah.
What do you like?
we
says
have-
people.
we have
if it
got
comes in a
someone's-
bowl, I don't want it.
I also love we've got Adsbot says good for Tom for being willing to go against the grains, which is
Nice.
I like that. And Fresh Matthias asking how long has the Crunchy Nut been soaking in milk? This is vitally important information.
But wait, like as per the packet instructions, about 3 to 4 hours. Right?
No. Also, how do I feel about croutons? I actually have some croutons in the kitchen that I made the other day. Arguably, that's because I overly baked a piece of bread a week ago, literally a week ago on the stream, I think, and it was basically a crouton when it came out of the oven. So turning it into croutons was.
It was straight to toast.
It was immediate toast. It was cut out the middleman toast. So now it's croutons.
Hit it with a hammer, and now it's good for soup.
It was like 2 inches of crust. It was not supposed to be like that, but hey. Okay, I think I'm going to switch on the voting stuff. The screen's going to start glowing in a second, folks. It's on. We're clicking. People think croutons are getting absolutely roasted on this stream. They're not. I like croutons.
Croutons are great.
They're great, but just
Isn't
not.
that how you make croutons?
Unbelievable. I like it.
No,
I like it.
no
a lot.
laugh.
I like
just
it.
Tumbleweed.
I liked it. I liked it.
There's a lot of people out here roasting my lack of desire to eat soup and cereal.
To be fair, I did make soup for you when you came round.
Yeah, and it was
you
great.
Ate it, so
It was lovely. But I say, like, I don't not like either. I just wouldn't go. I would if I had the choice. Nah, would rather have someone else. What I have today to eat, I can't remember.
every day is the same, Tom. Every day is the same.
Every day's the same.
I had actually a really fancy thing. I had something I made last night that I finished eating today, which was spaghetti with wild mushrooms and smoked duck.
Ooh, very fancy.
That sounds super fancy. It's just because I happen to have those things left over. My parents bought me some
duck.
smoked goods, and so it means I keep being like, "What the heck?" I mean, what are you going to do with smoked duck? I mean, it's lovely, but what are you going to do with it? So I'm kind of glad I've got rid of it now, because it was just sitting in my fridge and getting closer and closer to the use by date, with me going, I have no idea. Like, I'm not. We had some smoked cheese. Yeah, just gonna eat that with some crackers. Fine, but like, do you just want to eat chunks of smoked duck on its own? I don't think I do. It's weird.
I saw someone in chat asking whether oatmeal is classed in with the cereals in the UK, and it is its own entity. When someone says cereal, they definitely mean crunchy things with milk, I would say. And oatmeal is very much the porridge scenario.
Yeah. Cereal, I think, is like either has to be like turbo boring or a bit naughty, doesn't it? Like,
those are the it's basically, does it have an illegal amount of sugar, or is it indistinguishable from cardboard and sawdust?
I tell you what,
and those are the.
What's your all-time favourite breakfast cereal, Pip?
Will that not just give?
Yeah, that
like,
would
no, okay, yeah, no, sorry.
Wait, what if it's
See.
crunchy nut?
I will say my all-time favourite is the frosted mini wheats that came in the red box. They were like little mini shredded wheats but covered in frost. And I did have, when I was trying to be healthy, I had the raisin mini wheats, but the frosted ones, oh my, they're so good. They made the milk just turn into like sugar milk.
I'll tell you what, Matt. Let's resume this conversation after.
Yeah, sure. Okay, I need to have
opinions.
Okay, right. Gosh, am I going to get in a lot of trouble? Wow. Okay, so it's 55% of the people say it's over here, right?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to lean like further this way because of the nubbin that is kind of pointing out just there. I'm trying to do this with the stream lag, so it's tricky.
Yes.
Should we go for a zoom? How important is this?
Go for a zoom.
Let's go for a zoom. All right. Computer.
A lot of people talking about making turbo boring or a bit naughty into a new catchphrase, but I think that would actually be a really good card in Wavelength. Turbo boring on one side, a bit naughty on the other.
All right. I'm going to do it. I've seen some people asking as well if you need to be a subscriber to do this thing. No, you don't. You just click on the screen. I think you might need to be on a computer. But apart from that, you can click on the screen and you'll be a part of this wonderful, silly thing. And you can click on the screen now for the second wave of voting. Da 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 da. We thought about doing this in some other ways. I think you could probably just stick on some little stickers with numbers and then people could vote. But this is a neat little thing that Chris, who work with, discovered.
Wow.
Sorry, Chris. Bad
His
news.
performance reviews are just coming like thick and fast today.
If nobody likes cereal, then nobody has a job. In fact, like, Chris probably can't eat cereal, so yeah, it's not great.
That'll probably. I think chat like it looks like chat wants us to go exactly where we were on this. But I feel like I should step away from the debate as someone that would put basically any cereal in the middle, except for bran flakes with raisins, which gets a little bit good.
Interesting. Yeah, we need to have quite a long talk after this. Quite a long. Nice. Bran flakes are lovely. Bran flakes with raisins. Fruit and what's it called? Fruit and bran? No, that's like fruit and nut.
Fruit and bran.
Fruit and bran nut.
Fruit and fibre.
That's the one.
Fiber.
Did I? I did. Okay. All right. I'm getting rid of the shapes on the screen that mostly seem to be going over my face. It's fair enough. Why not? If you can affect change, do it, even if it's dumb. I think I'm just going to go out on this because you don't get a vote, Tom, because you don't like cereal. I think Crunchy Nut is one of the most delicious cereals invented. So I'm just.
But it's not what you think, Matt. It's not what you think.
It is what I think. Oh, 3 points. I'll take it. I'll take it. So yeah, unfortunately, slightly off, but 3 points.
So I'm probably going to get myself banned from chat again. Will posting a link get me banned from chat? Probably.
Did you get banned from chat for doing it last time?
Like, just muted for a while. I was in timeout. I was on the naughty step.
You know what you can do? You can ping it. I don't know how it works.
I'm gonna put it in, and then if it goes away, hopefully Morgan can reinstate it.
Yeah.
There we go. I've timed out again.
Okay, well don't worry. If you ping the link to me on something, then I can ping it to someone. We can do it like passing a message. I can pass a little note over to Chris, and then we can have it posted on the official account. Well, actually, I can post it on the official account because I'm logged into it. Because technically, I'm doing a stream.
I've just seen the tweet.
So
what is going on?
So it's from.
Oh no, Pip. Apparently, you can link now. You've been given. You've probably been made a mod or something. I don't know.
But yeah, so I posted a picture from a previous Shucks actually, where I had gone and bought a load of North American mini wheats, and one of them was just a sugar iceberg. So
That's beautiful.
I kept it for about 2 years, I would say, or like a year or something.
Wow.
So yeah, but so frosted wheats are actually my favourite cereal, and they still sell them, but only at the big Sainsbury's. So
I was thinking, like, I feel like
locally.
now more than ever, there's such an opportunity for people to bring back in a big way, like really good quality selection boxes. Like not just the the ones where you get like some, like just really, because I'd love to have a variety of things, but the idea of going and buying 4 boxes of cereal from the shops right now is just not. It's not on my list. Oh, that
Do you know what would
deadly,
be? What would be amazing, but also would be the sort of thing that people would write think pieces about how it's the end of civilization for, is if they did like a cereal subscription box, so you could get all of the weird cereals from like everywhere in the world, right? Because I can't get Fruit Loops in the UK, and that is an ongoing source of absolute misery for me.
Fruit Loops are, they're turbo. I'm still just looking at this mini wheat. So you brought this back from another country? You got this through customs?
Oh yeah, that's like a rock, isn't it? Yeah, that could have gone very much.
It could have gone real badly. It's just
so
cereal.
Actually, so I kept the box, like even though obviously I was only bringing the big lump of sugar, I had to flat pack the box so that it was with the mini wheat just in case there were questions.
Yeah, so I'm just bringing it. I brought it up on the stream briefly so you can see. I keep forgetting I could do this while just staring at my screen. This is a mini wheat iceberg of sugar.
With my hand for scale, so
yeah, which means it's actually huge.
So that's basically the amount of sugar I expect in my cereal.
It looks like the prize in a cereal themed version of Uncut Gems. That Adam Sandler's after for the whole movie.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Okay, got a slightly nerdy one now, I guess, for me, because it's come around to me again. So the criteria we're going between here is Star Wars to Star Trek
Oh wow.
on a spectrum, which is interesting. Okay. Okay. Right. Alright, I gotta give this a spin and then have a look.
I put my blindfold, my delicious pink blindfold on again.
Also got to close down my little stream window, because otherwise I'll be able to see it. Okay, everybody who wants to close their eyes, close your eyes now, and I'm going to have a look. In 3, 2, 1. Let's give it another spin. Okay, everybody can open their eyes.
I'm gonna give it a few seconds just in case.
Because you got the stream. Yeah, that makes sense.
Ah.
That makes sense.
All good.
So,
Tom, you might be on your own with this because I can't reliably remember who was in Star Wars.
Hey, let me tell you real quick. I've never seen Star Trek.
Well, like,
between us.
none of it.
We
Like,
should have the perfect knowledge.
like actually none of it. Not even
no,
a
I've
bit.
never watched Star Trek.
Oh
Oh
wow.
wow. To be
I
honest,
feel like
like
this game is making, chat's learning a lot about me in a way that's not making me positively unqualified for this job.
so I think like the next generation I think is worth the watch just because it's actually insane. Like it's bonkers. You start watching it and the first episode is just it's like half of the episodes, like every now and then it's like about 1 in 10 of the videos in Star Trek are like, and then they went to the sex planet.
The holodeck malfunctioned.
Yeah, it's surprisingly great. It's good to watch in the bath, very chilled. All right, so I am going to see how we get on with this. I'm gonna say Data, Commander Data. If he is a commander, please don't have a go at me, chat. If I've got his rank wrong, that's not what I meant. I'm not here for that. It's
I
not-
mean, doesn't he ascend the ranks at various points? So he
Probably.
didn't start off as commander.
You'd think he wouldn't. Yeah, that's not how.
Tom,
ranks
this will
tend
be
to work.
lost on you.
I thought he was called, from what I know about Star Trek, isn't he called Mr. Data?
Big Data, I believe he's called.
No.
Big Daddy Data.
Do you know what Data looks like, Tom?
He's a robot man, right?
Yes.
You're thinking of C-3PO.
You know what? I was just thinking he's a robot man that looks a bit square. And then I realised that the
Crichton.
whole time I was picturing the guy from Red Dwarf.
That's Crichton from Red Dwarf, yes. So
He's the yellow one. He's got
Um,
yellow skin.
I'll bring up
Okay.
a photograph for you, alright? I'll bring up a photograph for you.
Isn't
Like,
he
but
just
surely-
in Star Trek?
Yeah,
so
like,
sure.
isn't this an either-or situation?
Yeah, right?
No, because think about it. If it's a spectrum from one to the other, like you have
Okay.
to treat anything you say as being somewhere on that spectrum. That's all I can say.
Okay.
I'll show you a picture. I can't put it in the middle of the screen, so I've just popped him on there. He's called Data. There we go, Tom. You can have a look at him.
His eyes are peeking over the sub box in a way that's beautiful.
Yeah, he's that's Data. He's kind of creepy, but that's Data.
Lieutenant
Well-
Commander, it says. Final rank.
There we are.
There you
Okay.
go.
So it
Not
wasn't
Mister.
not Mister. Don't call him Mr. Data. He'll be viewers. Right. I'm just
It's
gonna.
like
I'm gonna put the click map on now. The click map is on because I mean Tom's never seen Star Trek, and that's fair.
I feel like this definitely has to be in the Star Trek area.
right, yeah.
Has
If
to
it
be.
goes in the Star Wars area, we've done something horribly wrong.
And I do think that he feels like a very intrinsic to Star Trek kind of character,
Sure.
but I guess they do have robots and androids and things in Star
Star
Wars, so
Wars.
maybe that would take it the other way.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel quite.
Yeah, I feel like
I
we
don't
should. I feel like people are saying, should we start with the Zoom? I feel like we should.
Yeah.
We should go in
Yeah,
for
that's
the
a
Zoom.
good idea.
Because okay, right. So.
I feel like now though is a great opportunity for telling Tom that my partner won a cereal bowl in the shape of a stormtrooper's head, which feels like it ticks both, two of your interests, I guess. Like there's a whole cereal layer. There's a
that's it's all coming together. So it's I think, from my limited knowledge, so like with cereal, you can discount my opinion again, but in the middle, it's like slap bang in the middle, because it feels like he's part of Star Trek, but there are some elements that are very Star Wars, because he's a robot android man. If Matt was to do something that was all the way Star Trek, it would be something that's so exclusive to Star Trek,
Go on.
the bald
Go
man,
on.
bald man with the thing that says make it Patrick Stewart.
That's his Star Trek name.
Mr. Patrick Stewart is like, but then hold on, I'm undermining my own point, really. Oh.
I'm enjoying watching the Twitch chat here, talking about this and having a conversation. I think,
I think my gut reaction is that for me, Data feels so Star Trek, but I think that I feel like I don't trust my gut to answer this, because everyone in Star Trek feels like it comes from a show I'm super familiar with, and then there's like the wilds of Star Wars, which I can't reliably remember the name of. And then
I think go with your gut, because Tom doesn't have a gut.
Okay.
That's why I can't eat soup.
In that case, yeah, I'm tempted to just say in the middle of that 40-something% area is
about here.
Aiming at where the 7% nubbin is.
All right, let me have a quick look at the little stream thing. Let's see where the 7 nubbin is. Okay.
Kind of like, yeah. So I'm really far over with this, I would say.
Okay. Yeah. All right. I think there might be people clicking on Tom, but that's fine. You happy with that?
I mean, I'm happy to think about Star Trek, so...
Same. All right.
All good.
Ready for the reveal, everybody?
Ready.
You just got 4 points there. You just got 4 points. Just snuck in there.
They're 4 points that we, but specifically I, totally earned.
So yeah.
Actually, do you know what, Matt? What would you have done for something more in the middle? Like, I'm genuinely curious about this.
Well, like slap bang in the middle.
Yeah, like if you'd landed up at like 50%, what would you have? Yeah.
Space. Oh yeah, chat's already saying space.
I think space is actually space is pretty perfect. I think if I was closest to the middle, I might say something like Riker maybe, because Riker has a bit of a swashbuckle and a charm about him that I feel is kind of Star Warsy. The reason I went for Data, people actually in the comments have pretty much completely nailed it. It's to do with the fact that he's a character who is all about unpicking the human condition and the human experience, and Star Trek is actually a show about humans, a show about people, and Data is like the most on the nose representation of that, of him being this like unbelievably expressive character who apparently doesn't understand emotions, which doesn't make any sense because he's always like super expressive and then goes, why are people, and it's like, you're the most emotional character in this, but but the idea is you can't experience them. It's kind of like Sesame Street, really, if you think about it, but for grown-ups. But anyway, there's none of that in Star Wars.
Sesame Street is for grown-ups.
No, you're right. I apologise. Yeah. But yeah, Star Wars has none of that. Star Wars is like, it's still about characters and character relationships, but it's more about like more deeply kind of basic emotional stuff like that, like family and like it's a little bit less introspective, and Data's like the hard edge of it. So lots of people in the comments actually have completely got that. So you got it. Yes. All right.
Good work, gut.
Good work, Mr. Gut. You've done it again. Should we do 2 more?
Yeah.
And then maybe
go
call
on.
it a day and have some dinner? Yeah, I need to eat something.
Sounds good.
Okay. Well, that's
Have
2
some cereal.
catty. Okay. 2 catty. 2 catty. Who's going to go for this one? Who is it? I'm going to pick him now because I'm being mean.
Mhm.
Who is it next? Is it Tom again?
I
Yeah,
think so. If we're
think
going same order.
Okay. Okay. We're going to go underrated skill to overrated skill.
Ooh.
Cool. Okay. Oh, the whole concept of underrated and overrated is already messing with me, though.
Well, yeah.
Can't we all just be rated?
I've got enough of rating. Everyone's always making the joke in Animal Crossing that Tom Nook is the bad guy, but it's clearly not. It's clearly the Happy Home Association or whatever they're called. Just turning up and being like, "Hey, we're gonna rate your house." I'm like, "This isn't cool. This isn't cool at all." All right, yeah. Pip's already got our eyes closed, which is great. I'm gonna close my eyes now, and then Tom, let me know if we need to respin. 3,
Okay,
2,
will do.
1. Revealing. Are we good?
We're good.
All right. You ready?
Let me just remember. I'm gonna put a little mark. Well, actually, no. Part of the game is that you can just close it.
All right. Okay. Everyone can open their eyes now, apart from
Okay.
Pip, who's on a slight lag.
Yes.
Okay.
Good.
Oh boy. This one's tough. Chat amongst yourselves.
Should we make him demonstrate the skill as well? Like, is that a thing that would be
Well, I think
too unkind?
whether or not he can
I'll-
do it is kind of
taxidermy,
indicative of
yeah.
whether or not he thinks it's an important skill or not. That's
Oh,
it, you know,
yeah.
make you think. Because he could be like
Oh, man.
whittling and then be like, anyone who can't whittle is a loser.
I think we might also be here for longer than dinner, you know? It's like, no, I'm getting there. A full woodland scene.
Okay. My chosen skill is interior decorating.
Interior decorating.
Okay.
Okay, that's interesting. Interior decorating. And that's not the same as interior design. There's a crucial difference there, right?
I'm wondering if this is tied to your experience of Animal Crossing as well recently.
That's true. You might not have seen Tom's Animal Crossing island, but judging by his reaction to yours, how much do you think he is in terms of
Well,
a decorator?
so he explicitly said while we were talking before the stream that he was very much in favour of the stuff that was happening on his island and organising that as opposed to inside his house. So that's leading me to thinking he's not absolutely the biggest fan of interior decorating at this point. Yeah, that's my insight from that.
Interior decorating. That was the interior decorating is the clue.
Yeah. Okay, let's look at your room, Tom.
Yeah, do you want I mean, I could give you a grand tour, but I won't because the webcam's stuck to the computer, so you can just get a rough.
To be fair, actually, no, we have got people in the comments demanding a tour of your room, even before that was said. So I think now you've even vaguely suggested it, you're kind of in trouble.
Oh, we've got lights.
We've got fairy
That's
lights.
sweet. Yeah.
Hold on, let me
This.
Hey, welcome to Tom's cool room tour, where we're going to tour the room and I'll show you all the cool things that I've got. We got a shelf full of objects. We've got I didn't clean before this, so this is a nightmare. But we've got the corner with the guitar and a painting that I bought from my old art teacher, and then we've got some other stuff, and we've got a record player. This is as far as the webcam can go from here.
That's
Thus
fair.
concludes my room tour.
Nice.
You've now seen how I live.
I've seen how you live. Don't you think I haven't seen how you live, boy?
Do you have like a sloth plushie, or have I made that up?
That is my partner's plushie. It's Appa from Avatar.
Aww. I don't know what that is.
No, neither do I.
Neither do I.
Okay.
But that's nice.
Cool. So I don't know. I don't really feel like that gave me a lot of insight, but I did enjoy it. So
I'm glad.
Should we ask chat to do some clicking?
Yeah, lots of people are fans of Appa, and annoyed we don't know what that is. But I can't. Are you talking? Is it Avatar the anime or Avatar the film?
Avatar the anime.
Okay, that's good.
She's actually also just next to that got a huge plushie of James Cameron.
They've been sold out for ages. Right, we're doing the click-in. We're doing the click-in. Hey, come on! Like you can't watch that much anime and have a job. It's hard, all right? I mean, that's not true. You can. I just don't have time for hobbies because I'm an idiot who works all the time and still doesn't manage to get all the technology ready before streams, which is slightly upsetting. All right. Well, okay.
So 100% of people think that it's on the dial somewhere.
Wow. Interesting. And then we've got the rogue 11% up here. All right.
Okay. I feel like he might. So, and I don't want to be mean or anything accidentally. I want to be mean on purpose when I do it.
Save up those credits and smash them all at once.
Like, why waste it on things you then have to apologise
You're not
for?
wrong. You're not wrong.
I'm not sorry. No, I just kind of feel like a lot of people who don't own their own home feel like interior decorating is like this far off, luxurious, overrated thing that people who can own their own home indulge in. And I don't own my own home, and I'm a bit like, really? Interior decorating, is that what's happening next door? A building? I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. That's
So
renovation.
yeah, I feel...
You know, that's a different.
But it's with a view to then doing all this other stuff, I reckon. You know, you can't just put up a wall and go, job done. You've gotta, I don't know, hide it somehow with paint and a lamp and a cushion.
You see, I'm viewing this a bit more like just super broadly of being like, well, interior decorating is not just like the painting and all that stuff, but it's just making like a place nice. And I think that considering Tom, again, I hate to keep bringing your age into this, but I'm an ageist horror. But because you just graduated from university quite recently, I would have thought that lots of people. I don't know. But when I was your age, oh gosh, and I'd just been to university.
The year was 1833.
When I was your age, I seem to just remember like younger people just being a bit snobby and snooty about that sort of thing, of being like, oh, what's the point in that? Like, and actually, I don't think you're one of those people. I think you think it's actually quite cool to be able to make things look nice in your home. So I think you're going to think that it's a. I mean, what do you think, Pimp? But I think he's going to say it's an underrated skill, just because I think most of the people he knows probably don't rate it. Whereas, like, if you talk to my wife, she's going to be like, it's the most important thing in the world.
That's such a good point. I think mostly I was then going to think maybe it's entirely related to how recently he watched Queer Eye, because, like, as every time I have sat down and watched an episode of that show, I haven't for ages, actually. Like, I think they've had like 2 whole seasons since. Anyway, but like it always makes me think, oh, actually, you know, you can really make changes with that. And then like a few days later, I'm like, well, but who's got the time? So I don't know. Yeah, that was my steer, but I like yours better. Yours sounds like it's actually involving people and thought.
Trying to get in people's minds because I'm evil. So I'm thinking, I would say like. A bit underrated, like not hugely underrated, but a bit underrated. What do you think? How close am I there to like the? I haven't looked at the window actually for a little while. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
you're
look at
pretty much like smack in the middle of the most recommended hotspot. So
the most recommended hotspot.
indeed,
Hmm.
TripAdvisor reviews of this tile are just like off the chain.
So what do you reckon? You cool with that?
I'm cool with it just because I don't have any, like I have no expertise to offer. So let's do it.
Let's do it. Oh, well, we're kind of right. Tom thinks that it's like an extremely underrated skill.
Oh wow, who are you hanging out with?
Well, that's
okay.
I was on the right
Yeah.
path with. Was I on the right path with what I was saying?
You were. Most of the people that I know are just like would probably say that it's like a useless extra skill that like no one should care about. But I think that like cultivating a space is like the most important thing you can do for your own like mental well-being. Like when I just gave you that room tour, that was a bad indication of how I normally live, because this room is normally clean and lovely, and this corner that I showed you is full of nice things that make me happy when I look at them, and it means that my mental health is good when I work at my desk. So interior decorate. Wait, did I say interior design or decorate?
You said decorating, because I think
Decorating.
interior
Either
design
way.
is less worthwhile. But that's more because it's like, I don't know. I just find it a bit odd. I think it's nice to decorate something yourself. It's kind of weird to have somebody come in and pitch you a living space that you out of nowhere. Anyway, whatever. If people have the money, I guess whatever. But
I really
Yeah.
like that. I love that answer as well.
that's
and
really
I
sweet.
think
You know what? Maybe though it also ties into something that you guys couldn't possibly know, which is that back at my parents' house, as soon as I moved out to go to uni, they completely erased my room and turned it into like my sister's room. So now I like don't have that space that I'd cultivated throughout my teenage years, gone, reduced to ashes. So hey.
Well,
But-
yeah, my parents did the same thing with mine. Although to be fair, I decorated myself, and it was a hellscape. I decided to paint the ceiling chili red, and the
Ooh.
wall light blue, and the carpet was navy blue. It was like
Oh.
being trapped inside a tube of toothpaste.
my room at my parents' house is like up in the attic, so it's like I think it's not a priority for like doing anything with, but they sometimes use it for things. But when I come home, like it's used for my room and things. But my mother sometimes just like leaves things that she thinks that I'll be interested in or like on the bed. Like one time she was just like, oh, I picked a mushroom that I thought you'd be interested in, so I left it in the room, but now it seems to have ripened and there's spores everywhere. Could we maybe address that before I have to like sleep and breathe?
I didn't want to disrupt your spore zone. I wanted it to be the same when you came back, but unfortunately, it's not. Now it's full of mushrooms. I should have pointed out as well, actually, that I feel bad because when I was saying I can't be bothered with interior design, not specifically in terms of a job, like people who design interior design for like buildings and stuff. It's more I've just got less time for when people have so much money that they pay someone loads of money to come and to design their house for them in a way. It's more that I just think it's more of a just general disdain towards people with incredibly superfluous quantities of money, more than a faction of designers. Anyway, so you shouldn't be offended by that, hopefully, unless you are turbo rich, in which case, I don't know, you'll get over it, buy yourself a living room. That was really lovely. We've got lots of people in the comments on Twitch saying a fine move, Tom, for that.
Thank
fine
you.
move.
It scored no points.
It scored
But
no
hey.
points for us, but at the same time, I feel like at least we got to the root of it. We did determine that that probably people around you would be dismissive of it, but I'm very pleased to see you being like, no, because you're right.
Thanks.
You're right. You're correct. You
Talk
And
about that
also it
in my
has, like,
review.
I was going to say it's rehabilitated you in the eyes of the people who only saw the serial opinions.
the serial
you know?
hater.
Mm.
The serial hater. The serial killer.
I was going to say it's less severe than serial killer, but like it's still on the same spectrum.
I'm liking
Serial
it.
dislike a bit.
We've got some good synergies, and I've learned that like I already feel like I'm a bit of a kindred spirit with Pip at the best of times. Really, I think we're kind of very very similar in strange ways, but we both have the same favourite cereal. So
Yes.
It's all coming together. Like Legendaire saying Tom was right about cereal. He's right here too. Whoa. No one's right or wrong about opinions, all right? Apart from you.
I'm full of these correct opinions.
All right, we're gonna do one more.
I was gonna close my eyes and then I remembered this.
It's your turn. You're the one person who doesn't close their eyes now.
The sleeping master's dreams has got to go on again.
Do you want to tell me what the card is?
I
first?
do. The card is
Oh.
bad pizza topping or good to good pizza topping.
Okay.
Now this is the one where somebody might get in serious trouble with the internet. All right. I'm gonna
Can
spin
we
it.
say that like pineapple is banned because it is a good pizza topping and like it'll just create.
Well, I think that pineapple wouldn't be used by anybody sensible doing this because it's like it is just such a divisive one that it doesn't really tell you anything. Like I think pineapple on pizza is absolutely incredible. We can have a little conversation about this after. We can't talk about pizza toppings yet because it's going to spoil the game fundamentally.
You're quite right.
All right, I'm going to close my eyes.
Okay.
Do I need to spin again?
It'll take a moment to come through. No,
course.
you're good.
Okay, can I close it?
Yep.
Thank you very much, Pip. All right, I'm closing it, and everyone can open their eyes.
Okay. Oh god. Talk amongst yourselves, and
That's
I'm
fine.
going to consult a pizza menu.
Sorry, it's not fair for me to do this at this point in the evening. Oh, I'd like a pizza. I'd like a pizza. My wife is a bit too paranoid about ordering takeaway, unfortunately, which is, so we're not doing that. It is fair enough. Like I think it's probably on the slightly more paranoid side of things, but you can't be too careful. And,
Oh yeah, sure.
And I really would like a pizza though. I'd really like a meal that just appeared out of nowhere. Yeah, meals that just conjure themselves into existence.
I've been working through the same giant batch of enchiladas that I made, but they took me way too long to make than I realized because the recipe called for 2 grated squashes. So, and it takes a long time to grate a squash on a rubbish grater.
That's like full on arm day that's happening right there.
It was great.
Okay, so I don't actually understand how to use the menu on the pizza place that I actually googled for. So, just one more
Don't know
moment.
how to use the menu. I like it.
Look, like pizza places have absolutely lost it when it comes to like their websites at the moment. It's all like too interactive and there's too many deals and none of them make sense and it's all just a lot, Matthew.
No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We've got a lot of people in the chat who are really enjoying the fact that both of your clues have required you to go and consult a menu online, basically.
It's almost as if that was my plan all along.
We've got lots of wrong opinions at the moment. Some people saying the zucchini's terrible. Zucchini's not terrible. Zucchini is wonderful. It's probably my favourite vegetable, or as we call it in the UK.
Wait,
the
which one is that?
The courgette.
In English, courgette. Yeah, courgette's pretty great.
Courgettes are beautiful, but you have to cook them properly.
I'm a big fan of aubergine.
Oh, aubergine.
Aubergines
pizza.
are pretty good. I'm more of a fan of courgette, I think. But
really?
Yeah, I think so. Like, it's just got a subtlety to it that's amazing. Like, there's a really, really good recipe you can Google. What's it called? I think it's Hugh Fernley Witten. What's it called? This is great Googling stuff. It's courgette, mozzarella, and parmesan pasta, garlic, and it's like it's like a pasta bake that takes a little while to make because you have to cook the courgettes very slowly. But it's like a pasta bake that still feels quite light. It doesn't feel like a heavy, stodgy pasta bake. It's probably my favourite thing in the world. I've got some courgettes in the fridge. I might make that tomorrow.
Oh, I'm going to Google that straight away.
Oh, it's so good.
Incredible.
It's so good.
I've got a similar recommendation from the courgette aubergine family. Is that BBC Good Foods aubergine chili is the best chili I've ever eaten. And that's even before, like, that's including meat chilies that I ate in the before times.
The before times. The before times.
Okay, so I'm going to go with green and red peppers.
Green and red peppers. Interesting.
Specifically green and red. So we really need to
literally been looking at the menu, Tom. It's how they were listed.
I reckon Oh, so someone just said burnt aubergine veggie chili. Yes, that's the one. That's the one.
I'm going to share
Oh,
the link
sounds
because I'm allowed to. Hopefully, yeah. Shut up and sit down. I officially shared with you the recipe for courgette mozzarella pasta. It's
Sorry, Pip. We'll get back to you later. We're
Sorry,
just
just
talking
had to do
about
some
courgettes
recipes.
I'm
and
bookmarking
aubergine.
that, so that's fine.
It's an incredible deal. All right, great. Cook yourself some courgettes. Live your best life. If you think courgettes are still bad, you're wrong. All right. I think I'm just going to come out here and say this, Tom. I think these are green and red peppers. You say?
Mm-hmm.
I think they're a pretty bad pizza topping.
Okay, I think that
They're
maybe.
not that bad, but like I'd never like want them.
This is the thing, is that my partner's gonna kill me if she sees this, but I basically think that most completely veggie pizzas are lacking something because they've not got meat on them. And every time I eat a vegetable pizza, I go, one day I'll be reunited with pepperoni. But I think that because it's all I can because green and red peppers are now like a standard pizza topping for me. I think they're all right. They're fine.
Yeah, no, I think so as well. I think they're okay. Like I think
But maybe on the spectrum of pizzas, maybe they're a little bit on the bad side rather than on the good side.
they're not bad. I just wouldn't. I gotta say, I make pizzas a lot. Like I made Nate about 8 pizzas on the weekend. I've not had a lot on. And I've got so into it that I bake my own pizzas quite a lot. But the thing is, pizzas get pretty wet pretty quickly. So if you're making your own pizza, you can't just keep putting toppings on because otherwise it's not going to cook properly. So you do have to choose what you're going to put on it. And the things I'll tend to gravitate towards might be some nice sliced meats or something. Mushrooms, fantastic.
I like the chat suggestion that says the best pizza topping is more smaller pizzas.
Yeah, that's great. The thing is though, green and red peppers are great if you're having a chicken pizza. I think people are talking about that. If you're having a barbecue chicken pizza or something but those pizzas are interesting. Those pizzas are kind of not what I think of as being pizzas. In the same way that ham and pineapple pizza is not really the same thing as a pizza. It's a different thing, and I like it a lot, but it's not. But then
on the tier list, there are so many other better vegetables that go above.
That's exactly it.
If I'm gonna have a pizza, it's and I'm gonna go straight for aubergine, right, on a pizza. It's pretty killer. Thinking about all the ones we've had at Franco Manca that are just so good, and none of them have green and red peppers on.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe a little bit bad.
They're not bad. They're just really far down the list of things. If I had a fridge full of stuff, I would always think, I'll save that for a stir fry. I'm going to put that on the pizza. It's are you kidding? I could put 2 more mushrooms on this pizza.
They're quite neutral, aren't they?
They add a bit of crunch and freshness.
Yeah.
So that chat can maybe get a calibration of where you're both at. What is your best pizza, both of you? The greatest pizza.
Let me have a look at because the best pizza I've ever had is one from Franco Manca. So let me go look at the Franco Manca menu and get really hungry all of a sudden.
I do. That's one of the things I really miss at the moment is where we were working in a kind of shared office space in London before all of this stuff happened. We had a Franco Manca which was literally about a 2-minute walk away, and we got we got 10% discount as well, and it's already quite cheap. And just being able to be I could be eating a fresh pizza at my desk in 5 minutes.
There's one in Bath as well, so you should have a work trip out.
That sounds like a good idea when we're allowed out.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
my ideal pizza is the number 3 at Franco Manca, which is sun-dried tomatoes, very thinly sliced roasted potatoes and onions, mozzarella, a little bit of Stilton, and some veggie pesto.
Yeah, that one is great.
It's just amazing. Chef's kiss
there
material.
Are 2 types of people in the world: people who think that potato on pizza is the weirdest thing in the world, and people who've tried it. It's it's so good. It's unbelievably good. I'm also a big fan of if you make kind of a ham and pineapple twist, but you have pineapple and pepperoni and extra chili. You got to have that chili, but if you balance out the sweetness and the tartness of the pineapple with some fieriness and some meatiness, it's incredible. It's a flavour sensation. I think my favourite pizza think it's probably something similar, like to the one that Tom just mentioned. But I usually have the version that has lamb sausage on it as well, because why not? But
Nice.
honestly, I'll eat anything on pizza.
I'm going to tell you mine because I don't think it has any bearing on this because it's so different. It's from a place called The Oven, which is really nice in Bath, and it's the number 16, which comes with ham, like a spicy sausage, creamed walnuts, fig jam, and basil.
Oh,
And I
wow.
only tried it because it had like a little like laurel crown next to it, because apparently it won them the pizza chef of the year
wow.
thing. So like I was kind of, oh, this could go one
It's
of
so-
two ways,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then the rosette kind of told me which way.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
Sounds wild, yeah.
That
So
sounds
yeah,
like a great
work
place.
trip after this, after all.
Yeah,
of
that
this
sounds good.
stuff.
I'm getting
Yeah.
real hungry thinking about all these delicious pizzas. I'm going to go away from this and make soup or just eat croutons from my hands. Yeah.
So I'm gonna say a little, like, someone in chat made a very good observation that Pip could have said something like oranges, right? And that would definitely be a bad pizza. Well, probably be a pretty bad pizza topping, or like, you know, tarmac, right? All bad pizza toppings.
I
Poison.
think, Tom, I think it's like here. I think it's like just. What do you think?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Well,
and
we're gonna-
as someone that often has peppers on pizza, I will attest. You know what? There's better veg out there.
I've put the clicker on. The clicky is on, so if you're watching the stream now and you missed this earlier, you can click on that. If you're on a computery thing, you can click on the screen to choose where you want to vote, and it will appear as if by magic. Yeah, like pizza is great. Pizza is really,
It's
really
great.
good.
This was the perfect pre-dinner category. Just get us like,
I'm
yeah.
just gutted I don't have pizza now.
A lot of people thinking they're better than where we're at.
What, they think that like it's that peppers are like really good? Oh,
Not
actually,
really good, but a bit good.
something people
don't-
are mentioning which I forgot about is like, yeah, anchovies are incredible on pizza as well. Like, I mean, anchovies on anything Italian. Like, just have you put some anchovies in that? Unless there's a vegetarian coming, I don't see why not.
I feel like anchovies are better in a restaurant because you can then leave the smell of them in the restaurant, whereas if you're eating it in your living room, like that can linger.
The key is not to put too many of the anchovies around the living room, I think. But
Like-
right now, it's like, I don't care. I'm just eating really badly all the time. It's fantastic. Well, not badly, but I'm just like, well, doesn't matter. Let's eat a whole bulb of garlic just to watch it die. All right.
I think Pizza Hut used to do a thing called the Seafarers Pizza, which I think had anchovies, possibly tuna and prawns.
Ooh, I don't know about that.
Whoa.
Don't know about prawns. Anchovies and tuna with capers and olives is pretty incredible. And then you crack an egg on it. You ever had that where you crack an egg on a pizza and put it in?
That's lovely.
Yeah, it's
There's
so
so
good.
much salt though with the capers and the anchovies.
Yeah, it's a bit much. You need to drink like
Oh.
8 litres of water afterwards, otherwise you die in your sleep. Well, I do anyway. I turn to a biscuit. Right. I think everyone else is saying, like, roughly around here that they're not happy with this, really. Like, they kind of want to go over here. But I think we're just going to go with our guts here and see, are we right or is they right? Dun, dun,
Okay.
dun, 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 dun. It's pretty much bang,
Damn.
bang in the middle, isn't it?
Yeah. I basically thought that peppers would be something that people didn't have strong feelings about one way or the other.
You
like
aren't wrong.
they're there, but like that's fine.
They're like a filler topic.
We
They're
should
like,
Yeah.
you just have, you see peppers on the menu, you're like, cool.
We should
I'll
have
add
gone
that to the mix.
with your ambivalence, Tom, frankly, because you're the one who A, has peppers on pizza all the time, and B, has no real opinion about them. Like, that should have spoken to us quite clearly about the,
Yes.
these vegetables, they are nothing.
I think essentially I was looking at the list and thinking, is there anything that I can't imagine someone saying, could you take that off for me, please? You know, like
Or
mushrooms.
that they
people ask
want
them
it
to
on
be
there,
taken off,
like
you
as
know,
an additive.
yeah, they just like no action one way or the other.
Nothing. Means nothing to me. Right, I'm just going to very quickly nip to Lou, and then we'll probably wrap up the stream, so you can talk about whatever you want for a minute. And
Did you stop keeping score, by the way?
Oh Oh no, I did. Well, that was nothing. Oh no, what did we get last time?
Go to the loo. Just go.
All right.
We missed last time, right? Like, we got no points for last time. But maybe we get some good take points, because people seem to think that they were good takes.
Yes. I
That'll
think
do.
hopefully people had a good time. So really the winner is everyone. Maybe.
Yeah, sure. We got we got a recipe out of it. We got a tasty courgette mozzarella pasta recipe. So we're living and learning in the wavelength. Man, this
And we
game's
made
great.
some great pizza recommendations
Yeah.
for post lockdown and stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm feeling this.
There's I feel like I've been roasted for my my bad food choices, which I want to maybe I should make it clear to the chat that the reason that my pizza choices are weird is because I'm a freshly minted vegetarian and therefore struggling to find things that I can eat. Like, I keep coming home with shopping and then putting it down, and then my partner, who has been vegetarian for several years, looks at everything in the basket and goes, "You bought something that's not vegetarian." I'm like, "What?" And she's like, "Look, it's got fish paste in it." I'm like, "Oh God."
I think I didn't have that experience, but I was attending a friend's vegan barbecue, which fine, but as in that I like vegan food, that's fine, but I then needed to bring something with me, so I brought tortilla chips and checked that, and then I just picked up some guacamole on my way out, and not thinking, because it was just okay, well, it's just gonna be avocado, but no, apparently you bung a load of cream in that to bulk it up and stuff, so I'm like, oh, I'm really sorry. I guess dried chips, anybody?
You just eat the whole pot of guacamole
Oh yeah,
on
I've
your
just got
own
my
as
hand
punishment.
in there, hey. My plan all along. Sorry, Matt.
No, it's fine. I've just been checking the chat and people saying that something happened. 2 points, 2 points. Lots of people saying 2 points and saying Pip wins, Pip wins. So Pip wins, 2 points.
That's my other avatar. Yeah.
How many times have you logged into this, Pip? This is incredible.
I was clicking everywhere,
Oh no, you've got it again. Tom would like people would like the aubergine recipe. I missed that. And the viewers
I'll
are the
grab
real
that.
winners, of course. That's probably quite true as a broad thing. Yeah, Tom grabbed that and can.
I'm grabbing this delicious chili recipe.
Fantastic.
Maybe this will out me that I've got terrible taste in food because people will cook it and go,
I don't think so.
"That is the worst."
I think you've got interesting taste in food. I think in a good way.
Thanks.
There's a link from Mr. Tom Brewster.
My whole housemates were all my housemates were roasting me on my my cheese and pineapple and sriracha sandwiches, which we've talked about, I think, briefly on the podcast.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, right. You guys, I was expecting resistance from you and Quince, but you were like, "Yeah, that sounds delicious." But all my friends were like, "What's wrong with you?"
Yeah.
What was it? I didn't hear that.
Cheese, pineapple, and sriracha.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a good time.
Was it in the shape of a hedgehog? Full 80s,
I wish.
party
I wish.
vibes.
Yeah,
Oh,
I really want
I like
that. Now.
that.
I want that now.
That
that
went
was
well.
fun.
That was fun.
That's
Thank you.
Wavelength.
Thank you to both of you guys for coming along and playing Wavelength.
It was a pleasure.
And
Pleasure.
yeah, fantastic. Pip, have you got anything at all that you'd like to point people towards? If you don't, that's fine. Just like to offer it.
Crowbar is where the Animal Crossing podcasts live. They're little extra things that come along the main the feed for that. You'll find them somewhere in there. And like I say, we're recording a new one of those, so keep an eye on that over the next few days if you are into the Animal Crossings.
Cool. Cool. And Tom obviously works Shut Ups It Down. So, Tom, have you got any websites called Shut Ups It Down that you'd like to point people towards?
No.
All right, don't worry about it. So, that's all we have time for today on today's Shut Up and Stay Inside stream. I have ever been Matt. Everyone else has been the people that they are. Pip, Philippa War, Tom, Thomas Brewster. And we'll be back on Tuesday. For those of you who missed it earlier, we're now streaming twice a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And if you have a look at this page after we've gone, there'll be a little kind of menu telling you what the streams are for the next few weeks. So you can think, oh, I'll watch that. Oh, won't bother with that. Oh, wonder what I'm going to have for my dinner, etc. You can think about whatever you like in your brain.
Also, thank you to the moderator, because that was useful. Thank you.
Yes, yes. Thank you to all the moderators as ever. But Morrigan's been fantastic, as have Chris and Lisa, hiding away in another country, making sure that things work.
Yeah.
I've kind of lost my marbles, but hopefully we'll have you on again, Pip, because it's been wonderful. And
Yay!
yeah, cool. That was Wavelength. It's fun. And now I'm going to go and make some soup.
Woo!
Bye.
Goodbye, everybody. Where's the button? Where's the button? Goodbye.
Get like a dance party.